Over the past few months, disturbing new details have surfaced about what many are calling the cult of Jared Leto. Allegations, testimonies, and photos from his fan retreats are painting a picture darker than ever before. And according to many, it's only getting worse. Jared Leto has always surrounded himself with mystery. The Oscar-winning actor and frontman of 30 Seconds to Mars is known for his intensity, his transformations, and his obsession with art. But behind that carefully crafted image lies a controversy that refuses to fade. In 2025, a major expose featured 9 women accusing Leto of sexual misconduct, some claiming they were underage when he first approached them. One woman said she was only 16 when he began calling her late at night, using explicit language. Another said she was invited to his home at 17, where she was exposed to nudity and inappropriate behavior. Others have shared their experiences online, including a TikTok user who claimed Leto groomed her at 17 and waited until she turned 18 to pursue a sexual relationship. Each of these stories shares a common thread: power, access, and the sense that Leto used his fame to cross boundaries. His representatives have denied all accusations, calling them false and insisting that any interactions were appropriate. But as more voices come forward, the pattern is becoming harder to ignore. Beyond the allegations, there has always been something unsettling about Leto's connection with his fans. He doesn't just perform, he creates immersive experiences that blur the line between admiration and devotion. At the center of this is Mars Island, an annual retreat held off the coast of Croatia. Fans pay thousands of dollars to spend several days with Leto, dressed in white robes, meditating, swimming, chanting, and attending acoustic performances led by him. Promotional material from his band even leaned into the idea of worship. One now famous tweet from 30 Seconds to Mars read, "Yes, this is a cult." What started as a marketing slogan slowly began to feel like something much more literal. Attendees have described being asked to surrender their phones, follow strict schedules controlled by organizers, and participate in group rituals centered around Leto himself. To some, it looked like a spiritual getaway. To others, it felt like indoctrination. What makes it even more concerning is how isolated Leto's world appears to be. Surrounded by devoted fans who treat him like a prophet, he maintains complete control over his image. His most loyal followers defend him fiercely, insisting that the retreats are positive and life-changing. But not everyone shares that experience. Some former attendees have spoken about feeling manipulated, pressured, or emotionally drained. They describe moments when Leto appeared only on his own terms, while fans waited for hours, almost like disciples waiting for their leader to emerge. Experts in cult behavior have pointed out several red flags: the uniform dress codes, idolization, restricted communication, and the emotional and financial dependence built around one central figure. Combined with celebrity power and young, impressionable fans, it becomes a dangerous mix. Now, things seem to be reaching a turning point. After years of whispers, major outlets like People and The Guardian have begun reporting on the controversy. Former insiders are speaking out. Yet despite the growing attention, no legal action has been taken, leaving many wondering what will happen next and how many more stories are still untold. Inside Hollywood, studios and brands connected to Leto are starting to face uncomfortable questions. With massive projects and sponsorships at stake, his behavior is no longer just a personal matter. It's a business risk. Some insiders describe the situation as an open secret, something everyone knows but avoids confronting. Meanwhile, online, survivors are finding one another. Threads, TikToks, and forums are connecting people who once felt alone in their experiences. And with each new story, the image of Leto's so-called cult becomes harder to dismiss as harmless fan devotion. For many longtime fans, this has become a painful reckoning. The man who once inspired their creativity and sense of belonging now represents manipulation and betrayal. The same retreats that promised peace and enlightenment now appear as stages for control. There's no simple ending to this story. Jared Leto continues to perform, act, and move forward, seemingly untouched by the growing storm around him. But for those paying attention, this story isn't just about one celebrity. It's about the power of fame and how easily charisma can turn into control. Because when admiration becomes obedience and fandom becomes faith, that's when a following starts to look a lot like a cult. Be careful who you worship. Subscribe for more investigations and stories that dig beneath the surface.